I think it's safe to say that we were very lucky in the recent hurricane. Yes, we were annoyingly trapped in our houses or forced to go on unplanned hurricanes. We're all pretty sick of waiting, not knowing, etc., etc. But by and large, we escaped unscathed. That said, you've likely seen and heard the devastation from the Bahamas, and some are all too ready to say how blessed we are in light of that. But blessed? Like by God? Is the implication then that God blessed Florida and then what for the Bahamas? Took out some wrath? Just forgot about them? This is not a new discussion. It's all over thousands of years of Psalms in the Bible and on the lips of every honest pastor. How does a loving God allow this? How is one group blessed and another left for dead? Is it all just luck? Or something more devious judgment? See, this is the part where the preacher is supposed to give you some satisfying answer. Oh, sorry, folks, you came to the wrong church for simple answers. But I do have a few ponderings, if not exactly answers. I cannot speak to what it is like to be a Bahamian who has lost everything after being battered by a Category 5 hurricane for 3 days. I do not know this. I do know what it feels like to watch, and I know what my personal tragedies feel like. This is all I can speak to. In the midst of tragedy, it feels that all is lost. It feels like everything you know or ever knew no longer makes sense or fits or matters. It feels like you are forgotten, like you were in some deep pit with no way out, like even God has forgotten you. It feels like there is nothing left to live for, no hope, no joy, no light left in the world, and you wonder if there ever really was. There is no future and no past. There is only now, darkness, destruction, and pain. And despite the convincing pleas of those feelings, tragedy does, in fact, pass. It doesn't last forever. And then there's something after, an inkling of hope, the slightest invitation toward the light, just enough to make you effort, try, escape, move. You're not over it, not by a long shot, but hope has returned. And that's enough to take you forward, even just a bit. And eventually, tragedy becomes, in my personal experience, a defining point on your personal timeline, a place where before tragedy, life, I, God, understanding was one way, and after which was another. We are profoundly changed. Nothing will ever be the way it was. No one ever wishes for tragedy, personal, corporate, or otherwise. And it is also true that tragedy is deeply transformational. It's my observation that why God make it stop is a fleeting moment for the one in the middle of the tragedy, but somehow lasts much longer for people watching from the outside. Because in my experience, at least, God shows up profoundly in tragedy for the one in the middle of it. And those of us standing around watching look on and wonder, God, how could you? Or worse, make up our own reasons for why. I have a pastor friend whom I differ from greatly theologically, but he says no matter how we differ, we can always come together around serving and helping others. So if you came looking for answers today, sorry, not really my thing, or even my place. But if you came to be part of helping in whatever way we can, if you came to be with others who know what suffering is and want to gentle that in any way they can, to look for miracles in the messes, if you came to journey and question and help, these are your people. You came to the right place. So let's get started. I've created some categories, locals in need of help, local drop-off points for Bahama donations, the Pints for a Purpose event. We're going to talk through all of these. people's needs, other ideas for help, supplies needed, and any concerns or obstacles we see getting in the way. And we're going to figure out just exactly what we can do to make a difference, to maybe be the hope that we can't fathom actually exists. So let's get started.